Hi, my name's Kyle. I'll be demonstrating a barium enema. Before we get our patient, we want to have our room set up and organized. That way, when our patient gets here, we're not fumbling around. We need to have lead apron, protective shield. We need to have a couple sets of gloves handy, towels for any messes that may occur, some towels to keep our patient covered, a gown for them to dress into. We're going to have a barium kit. We're going to be using a low viscosity, high density barium solution. I'm going to mix in 500 milliliters of water, shake it vigorously for at least 30 seconds. I'm going to have it on an IV pole here. This will never go any higher than 24 inches from the patient's anus or rectum. Here we have a dual lumen tip, so we can do a double contrast study with air and barium contrast. There's a retention cuff that swells up like a balloon to keep the tip inside of the anus. Also, there's an inflator cuff that goes here to pump that up, which is missing. We have a hemostat or a Kelly clamp. This here will control the flow of the barium. This is a retrograde study of the large intestine or large colon. So we're using gravity to push this backwards, retrograde into the patient. We'll need tape to keep it in place, and we'll need a pack of lubricant, and we'll apply it liberally. That way it goes in easily and is easily removed as well. So now that we've covered all of our supplies, I'm going to go grab the patient. Alright, so I have my rec here. His name's Eddie. I'm going to bring Eddie into the room. I'm going to get Eddie into a gown. I'll be explaining the procedure to him, and I'll be collecting any information from Eddie that might be useful to the doctor. I'm going to get some history on Eddie and find out why he's here for this exam. We'll start off with a KUB, a scout image, and after I take that image, I'll show the doctor, and that's when we'll begin to administer the barium enema. Eddie?
Yeah.
How you doing?
All right. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. My name's Kyle.
Hi.
Hi. I'll be conducting your exam today. Okay. Can I get your full name?
Eddie Barrera.
Okay. Your birthday?
9/11/2001.
Okay. Now, if Eddie was a female, we would have to make sure she wasn't pregnant. In this case, what brings you in today?
I've been having stomach pains. I can't seem to go to the bathroom like I normally do.
Okay. How long has it been?
Like 2 days.
Constipated?
Yeah. Constipated. So like
okay.
at least 2 days. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any history of constipation or bowel problems or
No, I don't think so.
no family history?
No one that I know of in my family.
Okay. Have you ever had a barium enema?
No.
Okay. Do you have any allergies to barium or?
I have no allergies.
No allergies at all. Okay. So basically, we need to get a suspension into your large bowel. It's barium. Okay, and it'll allow us to see on the image better, the structures better of your internal organs. So basically the tip has to be inserted into the rectum. Okay, and basically it's going to be flowing in through the anus. Alright, and we'll have to get a couple images while it's inside. Okay?
Yeah, gotta do it.
Alright, so no allergies. Alright, we'll get you dressed into a gown here. Get you a gown. Also, before you do that, let me get you to sign this consent form.
Okay.
Alright, and one other thing that's important.
Yeah.
Did you follow the 2-day cleanse and liquid diet that you were ordered to follow?
Yeah, I didn't eat anything or drink anything last 8 hours, and I took the laxatives and cleanser.
You were probably up all night last night, I imagine, huh? Passing everything through.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, so you should be pretty cleaned out. All right, cool. Well, yeah, get into the gown and come on back, and we'll get you started.
Okay.
All right, so we're ready to take our series of projections here. We're going to start off with an LAO position. It's a PA oblique projection. Basically, I'm going to have the patient, he'll be rotated 35 to 45 degrees for this projection. So Eddie, if you could go ahead and straighten out for me. All right, straighten your legs as much as possible. Go ahead and just roll right about there. All right, I'm on a 14 by 17 light field here on a digital. I'm going to go ahead and center this to Eddie's crest, iliac crest. I'm going to go 2 inches lateral to the elevated side. Now, there's not a whole lot we can do as far as covering reproductive organs in these type of exams, but I always like to shield, whatever I can, chest, thyroid, whatever. Anything is better than nothing. So basically, for this here, I would do 100 kVp at 50 or 60 max. Now, for the next position, I'll have Eddie get on his stomach. And by the way, all of these projections, according to Merrill's, is suspend respiration. So basically stop breathing. So they're not specific as to whether it should be inspiration or expiration. Just suspend breathing. So we're going to do a PA projection of the large intestine. I'm going to shield him. And this time I'm going to put a marker because the first time I left one off. So I'm going to go ahead and put my marker from here on out. Alright, so left side indicating which side. We're going to go lengthwise orientation for our film or our plate. We're right here at the iliac crest, our central ray. And we're going to have the patient suspend breathing. And we're going to take the image. Also 90 to 100 kVp at 40-50 max for this projection. Now we're going to go right into a PA axial projection. I'm going to put a 30 to 40 degree tube angle caudab. And this here, you're going to basically, it'll be focusing on the sigmoid colon region in particular. I could go ahead and put this down to a 10 by 12 as well. Okay. Now I'm going to put a tube angle, 30 to 40. We'll have to match our bucky, of course. There you go. This is centered midline, and it's supposed to enter and or exit at the ASIS. And again, it's focusing on the sigmoid colon region, 10 by 12, 40-inch distance. All of these are 40-inch distance. Next, I'm going to have Ed get into a RAO position, and I'll explain to him how to get into that position. How you doing, Eddie?
All right.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Good, good. All right, go ahead and do the opposite of that first position, so we'll get on your right side front. There you go. And straighten out for me, if you're able to there. All right. Straighten out.
Straighten up like this.
Straighten your body a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
There you go. Rotate 35 to 45 degrees. All right. Now we're going to go back to a 14 by 17 light field. All right. We're perpendicular at 40 degree SI. 40 inch SID. I'm going to get the central ray at the iliac crest and 2 inches lateral to the elevated side. So I'll do a technique at about 100 kVp at about 50 maps for this projection. I have my left marker here, indicating which side. Reapply the shield, and I would instruct Eddie to suspend his breathing. From here, I'd go into a right lateral decubitus. Okay. I'm going to wag the tube. Now for this projection, I'm going to put my right marker on the top here because that's what side is up. I'm sorry, left side. Left marker will go up, his right side is down. So left marker will be up here. And same thing, the CR is right at Eddie's iliac crest, and we're at 40 inches. I'm going to put some shielding on, and I'll have Eddie suspend his breathing during the projection. Okay. Now for this one, I'm going to have you just roll back towards me and onto your left side. There you go. Perfect. How you doing?
All right.
Good, good.
Yeah, good. All right. Almost done?
Yeah,
All right.
We're close.
Very good.
So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put the right marker up because his right side is facing up. And can we straighten you out a little bit?
Yeah, sir.
Just going to straighten up. There you go.
Okay.
Just like that. All right. Right marker's up. Feel for his iliac crest, which is right there. That's where I'm going to put that central ray. We're at 14 by 17 lengthwise. I would do this and my right lateral decubitus, 40 inches at 100 kV and 50 maps, 40-50 maps at least. once this image is taken, it'll also be done on suspended respiration. As soon as this image is complete, I'll go back and raise the tube vertically, set at 40 inches. Alright, for this here, we're going to go down to a 10 by 12. We're going to be doing a lateral projection, so I'm going to put my left marker down, indicating his left side's down. And basically I'm going to go down to a 10 by 12. This too looks for the sigmoid colon region. It'll be at the as is. 40 inches. And our shielding. I'm going to reapply the shield to Eddie. I have my left marker here. I'm going to instruct him to suspend his breathing during the projection. And I'm going to use a technique of 100 kV at 70, 80 maps for the left lateral. Due to the extra thickness and density, you have to use a pretty high technique to get through the barium, especially on a lateral projection. You have that extra thickness. That should conclude the exam. Alright, so this was our last projection, the left lateral with the contrast. We have one more image to take. That'll be a post-evac. And basically, we're going to look now without the contrast. We'll do another KUB, do that at about 80 kVp at 40 mass. But before that, I have to take out, let the enema, the barium enema at the patient's level so it can drain back into the bag. And then I can release the cuff, the pressure, and then I can pull out the enema, and then the patient will be able to evacuate in the restroom. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. You want to relax, okay? All right. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right. That's all out. Now, he's already gone to the bathroom now. He's evacuated and completely emptied. So I'm going to have him get on his back into a supine position. I'm going to take one more image. Alright, we're lined up here. We're going to go back to a 14 by 17 lengthwise. I'm going to put the central ray right at the iliac crest. I'm going to reapply the shield. I'm going to put on a right marker indicating his right side. And like I said, I'm going to do about 80 at 40 maps, 80 kVp at 40 maps. Okay, I'm going to have him suspend his respiration at this point. Take the projection. Alright, now I'm going to move the tube out of Eddie's way so he doesn't hit his head. I'm going to ask Eddie, how are you doing?
I'm good,
You're
man.
doing
Now
alright?
that thing's out of me, I'm
Now that
great.
thing's out, yeah, I bet.
So what now?
You need help
all
up?
done?
You're all done. Basically, you need to drink a lot of water, or it could further complicate your constipation. Okay. Because this barium will solidify in your insides. So you gotta drink a lot of water, get some rest, and expect white stool. because you'll see this coming out into your stool.
Uh-oh.
So expect white stool.
Okay.
Did you have any questions?
What if so if I have white stool, that's up normal?
It's normal.
Okay.
That's just passing through, and it should
Okay.
be
Good.
passing
Good.
through. You want it to.
Right on.
So yeah, just get changed,
Okay.
and you'll be on your way.
Thanks.
You got it.
All right, got it.
All right, Eddie. You're welcome. This is our scout image taken prior to the barium being given. This is just to get an idea of what it looks like before the contrast is administered. This is basically a KUB projection for our scout. First image we're going to look at is our PA, large intestine. It's done to visualize the entire large intestine, including the left colic flexure, right colic flexure, the transverse colon, the descending colon, and the ascending colon. This here is the PA axial projection. It has a tube angulation of 30 to 40 degrees caudad. This makes the sigmoid appear elongated for better visualization. This is the RAO position, PA oblique projection. This is done to demonstrate the sigmoid colon, but mostly the right colic flexure and ascending colon. This is the LAO position, PA oblique projection, and this is supposed to display the left colic flexure and the ascending colon. This is our left lateral projection, and it displays the rectum and sigmoid. This is the right lateral decubitus. It best shows the medial side of the ascending colon and the lateral side of the descending colon. This is the left lateral decubitus. It best displays the lateral side of the ascending colon and also the medial side of the descending colon. This is a post-evacuation projection of the PA projection of the large intestine. For pathology, this is a fine example of ulcerative colitis. You can see the irritation and inflammation in the large intestine or large colon. They call that fingerprinting. What you can see here. Again, this is ulcerative colitis.